Hi everybody, thanks for joining me today on my channel. My name is Chris with Kristen's Crafts, and today I am going to be showing you how you can make some DIY embellishments for your December daily, or if you're not doing a December daily, you can make these for your scrapbook layouts, or if you don't celebrate Christmas, this same idea can be used for embellishments for any number of things if you have little dies. So I had done a haul video about 2 weeks ago or so that I got from Rosie Studios, and in there I had shown you the 5 dies I got. They were only a couple bucks each. I know that there's several different places that sell inexpensive dies. These I liked because of the size. They're smaller, so they do fit into my desktop Crafter Companions diamond press. Sorry, I'm zoomed in, so it's looking a little big, but you can use it with any of the different die cutting systems that you may have. I have both the Cuttlebug and the diamond press, and so that's what I used. So I'm just going to go through and show you how I made some of my embellishments, give you some ideas of what you can do with yours, and also just kind of show you if you're interested in these dies from Rosie Studios. They actually are pretty cute. So I'm going to start with the first one, which is the pine cone, and with the pine tree bowl. So for this one, I didn't really do anything fancy. I just went ahead and cut a bunch of them out with craft. Now, if you wanted to sparkle them up, you could. I kind of like the look of natural, so I left all of my pine cones alone. So that was a pretty simple, go into your craft cardstock scraps, grab out some craft cardstock and run it through the die cutter several times and get little pine cones that you can add to your layouts. The next one I did was the pine tree bowl. Now, as you can see with this one, I did zhuzh it up a little bit. I just went and took some stickles, and this was in gold, and I went ahead and added a little bit to the edges of the pine trees. Now with this, I have stickles, but you can also, if you don't have nowhere to get stickles, you can also get this is the G Studio or Studio G. This is sold at Walmart. Again, I think it's like $1. You can use that if you want. Now there's a couple ways you can put it on. With this, I just ran it over the edge, but what I'm thinking I'm going to try is I'm just going to go ahead and squeeze some onto my craft mat. Now the thing with these, and this one's going to be probably stuck. I haven't opened it up in a while. Hang on. So what you, with these, all it basically is glue, and with glitter in it. So if you don't have the glitter glue like this, but you have glitter, then just use your regular glue and add some glitter to it, mix it up. You know, you can decorate it however you want. Also, I believe close to my heart, and like probably scrapbook.com, they do sell a glitter pen. I forget what the brand is, that if you didn't want to put a lot of glitter on, those are another, I think they're like shimmer pens or something. So with this, all I'm doing is dipping my brush into the glitter glue, and I'm just going to lightly paint it on to the ends just to give it a little bit of sparkle. So you don't have to be talented at painting. You know, this doesn't take a lot, you know, artistic anything, because trust me, I don't have that. You don't have to be super crafty, just a cheap paintbrush, a little glitter glue, and you might even be able to find this stuff at like Dollar Tree if you look around. I know the paintbrushes you can. And use a junky paintbrush, because I don't know with it being glitter glue how good it will wash out. But there is that, and it will, once it dries, it's fine in your book. So I'm going to put this one to the side here. So I cut out a whole bunch of them. You can either do them with them decorated, or you could do them with them not. The next one I did was, let's see, put that one to the side. The next one I did was the pine tree. And I cut a bunch of the pine trees out. Now with this one, I did use, I used glitter glue and then just put it right directly onto the tree. But I think it looked too chunky. So I think it would look better if you just kind of brushed it. And with this one, it kind of gives a little extra cut. And so if you just run a little of that glitter just along where the cut line is, and this will actually dry flat. So all that you'll basically see when it dries is the glitter. So it's just going to give it a little bit of a glistening, and that's it. And what you could also do too is just do the edges, and it gives it more of that 3D look. And you want it to just look like if you were walking through a forest and it just snowed. You know how you get that little glistening look? That's what you're going for. And I'm not putting very much on. I'm just dabbing a little bit on just to give it a little bit of a shimmer. And again, if you have one of those shimmers pens or whatever they're called, you would just draw it on, same thing. And if you don't want glitter, you don't even have to do this. I just like my December daily to have a little bling bling. And so there's that. And then we'll do that last side. Very simple, nothing to it. So there's that one. So cute, like I said, a little Christmas tree. And you get a little blinged up. The next one, and I'm going to leave that one on there because I don't want to have it messy. The next one I did was the poinsettias. Now I did this off camera. The poinsettia comes with these little tiny berries. I'm not even going to bother using those. Those were so teeny tiny that, yeah, I'm not that coordinated. And then they have a larger and small that you can nest together. Now I've already glued them together. So, but what I found is the inside, this little stem part is very, very small and fragile. So I found that if I just offset it a little bit and glued it on, it actually worked a little bit better than if I would have tried to turn it and had them loose. I think the stems would rip. So that I didn't want to do. Now, I'm going to try and clean off my brush, because with these, actually we could go gold again. I was going to do the silver, but we'll go gold still. So what I did for these is I just did the berries in the center, like that. And again, try and get it like on the leaf, because the stems are so small that you're really not going to get a lot on there. Hang on a second, my gold needs to come to the tip. And if you don't have glitter glaze, you could use Nuvo drops. You could use enamel dots if you had, you know, glittery ones that you wanted to use. So now I've got those on there. Just be careful not to touch them, because they will smear, and they do take a little while to dry. But now that you have it done, I'm going to use the one that I've already finished. Now you can just go and just add a little bit of that glue and give it a little bit of glimmer on the tips. And again, when you go to turn, you know, use your album, it's just going to have a little bit of that little sparkle in your album. And it looks a little wet right now, but it does dry, so you don't see the glue. All you see when it dries is the glitter. And there's that. Just kind of fun, and like I said, it just kind of judges it up a little bit. Let me go ahead and do this one, see if I can do it without smearing it. Yep, see, I think it turns out pretty cute. Hopefully you're in camera here. Like I said, I tried to zoom it in quite a bit so you guys could see the detail, because these are small. So when you're getting out, you know, if you want to do a little decorating, you know, get out those dies, and once you cut it, don't just leave it as, you know, the construction paper or the cardstock. See what you can add, whether it be an enamel dot, a little glitter, a little watercolor, whatever it is that you can add that just adds a little bit of extra to it. So that's that one. Now the next two, I don't need my paintbrush for, so I'm just going to slide this to the side. Now the next one we're going to do is this one here, which is the stocking. Now, if you can tell, even on this one, I didn't cut them apart. I left them whole because they're really little. And so I just figured I'll just cut it twice. So what I've done is I've run it through the white and I've run it through the red. And then I'm just going to use the opposite for each. So I'm just grabbing any kind of wet adhesive that you have. And I just put a little bit of a dot. This is where having like the fine line applicator would be helpful. If you don't have that, what you can do is, again, paintbrush that you could go and paint, or if you have the Xyron X, you could use that for running them through. All right, so now I put the red embossed part on top of the white, so now it becomes white polka dots. And then to top it off, I'm taking this little white piece and I'm going to give it a little cap. And they give you the option of a square one or one with the little triangles on it, or ziggy zag, whatever you want to call that. And then the last thing I'm going to do is put a little dab of glue in the center. Oops. And there's your little stocking. So I made a bunch of these. And I think they turned out really cute. And again, to put on a little layout, you know, I could see running some twine on a 12 by 12 layout with like little stockings hanging, or you could make your own little fireplace and have the stockings hung off the fireplace, and maybe have the picture of your family inside the fireplace. That would be kind of a cool, you know, if you really want to get tricky. Hang on a second. All right, so now I have the white on top of the red. And same thing, we're just going to put a little bit of glue at the top. And then take the red zigzag one and put that over it. A little drop of glue in the center. And our little teeny tiny bow. And it will dry clear. So that is that one. So those are the stockings. And again, you can make them any color you want. I like the traditional colors, so I'm going with the red and white, but you could do, you know, green and red, or, you know, whatever colors your stockings are if you're into craft, you know, wherever that is. Then the last one I have, which I think is adorable, is your snow globe. And so I did make a couple of them. And again, I left the whole thing together, so I cut it out twice, one with the green and one with the gold. Now what I need for this is this outside frame with the gold, my tree in green, and then the gold star. But what it leaves you then is these extra trees, which you can also then use in your December daily, so you get another bonus. And then it also gives you the green stars, that if you wanted to save these, you could also use those stars as well on your December daily. Now to do this one, I just cut a piece of vellum to fit, and you don't have to be real tricky about the size. You just want it bigger than your frame. And then what I'm going to do is just, again, take my art glitter glue or whatever wet adhesive you want to do, and running a bead of that around the edge. And then I just take my finger and wipe up the excess. But art glitter glue does dry clear, so just be careful that your glitter does. Now I'm just going to glue the tree and put the tree on. And then I'm going to take my star, I'm going to put a drop of glue at the top. Come on. Put my star on the tree. And then you're just going to take and cut around the outside to trim the excess vellum off. Now, if you're tricky, you could probably do these into shaker pockets. You would have to have very, very thin, because there's not very much of a frame on here. But you could also, if you are doing the pocket pages like I'm going to do, I could see putting this into your page and then putting sequins or whatever in it, and then sealing it off with the, I have the, oh, whatchamacallit, the We Are Memory Keeper tool that seals it. So I'm using my technical terms today. So there you go. There is just some quick ideas on how you can make embellishments using die cuts for your December daily. And I'm just going to keep going and building, but I just wanted to show you what you can do, and I hope you enjoyed it. And let me just kind of pull these all into frame so you can see the different things that you can do. And again, these were purchased from Rosie Studios. So if you're interested in those, they are a New Zealand company, and then they ship from China. And the shipping really doesn't take very long. They've sent it to me FedEx in the States. So I want to thank you so much. You have a great day, and we will see you again later. Bye-bye.